What's good, everybody? This is Marcus, your host and moderator of the No Hesi Hoopcast, and we'd like to welcome you in. Come on in here. We're here with the real stars of this pod, this Hoopcast. We got Black Moses and we got Malik. Black, why don't you say what's up to the people, man?
Hey man, you're a star too, man. I want you to, you know what I mean. I want you to know that, you know what I mean. Welcome to everybody in internet world. Glad to be back. We missed last week. You know what I mean. That was my fault, but you know what I mean. Things come up. Glad to be back this week. Watched a ton of basketball. I'm excited to talk about all of it.
Malik, how you doing, brother?
Hey, I'm doing well, man. I'm doing very good. And shout out to you, Mark, also a star of this show. And I just want to say that it wasn't Black's fault. It was my fault. All right. All right. Listen, as a team, it's important that each member take accountability. This is what the coach says in the locker room, right?
Right.
It was my fault, Black. All right. But yeah, I'm good, man. I'm ready to get this show on the road. Just having a good time, man.
That's what's up. So we're definitely going to get into this episode. But before we do, man, we want to thank you, the listener, and we want to ask you and implore you to please hit that notification button, hit that bell icon so you can be notified every time we go live. Fellas, we got a lot to get into, so I'm going to be on you. You know, we got to really get through this stuff today, but we want to hear all that you have to say. So let's start with the Week 7 Pick'em recap. We want to know how many you got right and how many you got wrong. Black, let's start with you.
Well, man, it wasn't a good week for me, man. It wasn't a good week for me. I'm gonna be honest with you. I got 4 out of the 14.
Leek, what about you?
Leek, we can't hear you.
Yeah, I think you got muted, Leek.
Unmute.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, there we go.
I happen to get 11 out of the 14.
Wow.
Absolutely. So
wow.
I got to see what the record is for us now.
I think that's high score too.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're tied again, I believe, right?
Yep.
Because you won the week before. Okay, so we'll be tied again.
Wow.
Hey,
you had a really good week.
Hey, it's gonna take till the end of the season for us to finally
create separation.
Get the separation. All right. I'm good with that, right? I'm good with that.
Man, it's definitely something we're going to be keeping an eye on. So, wow. So we tied up. All right, fellas. Now, we've been bloviating a lot. Shout out to Skip in the building. We've been bloviating a lot about, Rookie of the Year. But we have a person that we want to definitely bring into the conversation. Sacramento's own Tyrese Halliburton. Fellas, what are your thoughts on him and his Rookie of the Year run? Let's start with the Leak on this one.
Hey, man, I love Tyrese Halliburton. I lightweight can't get enough of the kid. I ain't even going to front. He's got an unorthodox jump shot. Ooh, look at the Hesi.
Ooh.
Extremely crafty, right? Extremely crafty, very confident.
Hesi.
One thing yeah, right. Yes, Hesi. One thing that I'm really impressed by is his defense as well. He's ball hawking. He's the guy in the passing lanes. He's taking big shots. Look at that, a leaning shot at the buzzer. Just runs back to the locker room like a vet. Look, over 3 defenders. Just runs back to the locker room like a vet. So I'm loving Tyrese. Him and his dad have a very close relationship. I've seen his dad pop in a couple of times when Tyrese was doing interviews on FaceTimes, like during the early rookie media stuff. And you can see that his dad really, really raised him and really close to him. So I think that's where a lot of his confidence is coming from as well. Right, being presided over by his pops and being raised up. So shout out to Tyrese Halliburton. The Kings got them one. He will not win Rookie of the Year. Okay, that's reserved for ball.
What?
Now you know what? I take that back. He could get the trophy if there is a co-Rookie of the Year, like there was in 95, 96, I believe, with Jason Kidd and Grant Hill. So that's the only way I can see this man walking away with that award. But other than that, the Kings got him a great player. I'm loving Tyrese.
Black, what's your thoughts on Tyrese?
I echo the same sentiments, man. I was listening to an interview with him on JJ Redick's pod. And one thing that stood out to me about him was his acknowledgement that as much as talent gets you far in the game, that hard work is what's going to separate you from the next man. And he made the comment, the adage about while you're sleeping, somebody's working, on their craft and getting better. So you got to kind of take that mentality, that lunch pail with you when you're putting in the work. And you see that, man. I mean, he's extremely confident in his game. He's responsible. He's efficient. I'm pretty sure he's in the positive when it comes to plus minus scores every time he plays. Pretty much, he's in the game during the clutch. Yeah. He handles the ball during the clutch a lot of the time. I'd even say at this point he's looking like he's probably the best playmaker on the team, and that's no knock on D Fox whatsoever. But he just doesn't turn the ball over. Yeah. So that being said, man, I think the Kings' future is extremely bright, and I'm ready for the No Hesi episode where we talk about how he should be starting on the team.
Yeah, that's definitely in the works, man. Kings looking good. Shout out to the Kings as a whole, man. Had a nice little win streak going on. It's definitely gonna be keeping our eyes on them, fellas. Now we have to talk about this, man. The King has spoken. Since we were talking about the Kings a minute ago, LeBron James gave his thoughts on the All-Star festivities, and I definitely want to get you all's thoughts on it. Is the league getting a little greedy? Black, what you think, man?
Absolutely, without question. I mean, first and foremost, they didn't even get a break. Right? Once the championship, as soon as they cleaned up the confetti in the bubble, the season was starting back up again.
Right.
And so for cats like Bron or cats that went deep into the playoffs, they didn't really get a break, and they signed back up for this season to go on with the mind state of, okay, there's not going to be an all-star game. I'm going to be able to take a break, see my family, recalibrate, get back into my bag. Now we're hearing that that's not the case. That's not going to happen. So, obviously cats like Bron are going to start speaking up against that.
Yeah, absolutely, man. What you think, Lee?
I'm gonna play Bron. I'm gonna let Bron bloviate real quick, and then from there, I'll come back and kind of, because I haven't peeped this yet, right? So. But he did bloviate about the potential of an all-star game. He criticized it. All right. Yeah. So let's see what the King, see what he's got to say.
And zero excitement about an all-star game this year. I don't even understand why we're having an all-star game. But it's the agreement that the Players Association and the league came about. Short off season for myself and my teammates of 71 days. And then coming to this season, we were told that we were not having an all-star game. So we had a nice little break, 5 days from the 5th to the 10th, an opportunity for me to kind of recalibrate for the second half of the season, my teammates as well, some of the guys in the league. And then they throw an all-star game on us like this and just breaks that all the way up. So pretty much kind of a slap in the face. We're also still dealing with a pandemic. We're still dealing with everything that's been going on. And we're going to bring the whole league into one city that's open. Obviously, the pandemic has absolutely nothing to do with it at this point when it comes to that weekend. Obviously, you guys can see I'm not very happy about it, but it's out of my hands. And, I'll be there if I'm selected. But I'll be there physically, but not mentally.
Bron, you're going to be selected.
Thank
you. You know you're going to be selected, okay? If I'm selected.
Hey, man. hey, he kind of had the demeanor as if he didn't have a lot to say about it, but he sure did, right?
He said a lot.
I had a feeling he was going to bloviate, and I was right. Hey man, he made a lot of points, bro. He made a lot of points. I mean, and LeBron, you know, he's not going to say these things to get himself out of it, right? This is really a concern for him. He doesn't want to get COVID, right? He doesn't want to catch it. He doesn't want to take it to his teammates. He doesn't want the end goal to be compromised.
Right.
So Adam Silver can have his greedy little all-star game, right?
Right.
Look, listen, LeBron is trying to chase Jordan, all right? He's got no time for all these little all-star games and all these little titty awards, bro. He could care less about them at this point in his career, right? He's over that, especially with the situation that we're all in as a country and as the whole world. So I get it. I'm not cool with the all-star game either. Of course, I want to see the best players come together. Last all-star game was lit, right? That clutch work from the last year all-star game, that was amazing. But the competitiveness was off the charts. But I mean, I get it. It's not safe to do it. And Adam Silver is being completely soft. Remember we talked about earlier in the year? Remember I said Adam Silver is going to either be known as a great GM or a hated GM, depending on how he deals with this pandemic. Everything prior to the pandemic literally means nothing now, right? As far as in the public eye and in the player's eye. So we're seeing LeBron. This is his first time actually criticizing Adam Silver indirectly, right?
Right. This is the first time Bron has openly spoke out against the league, I believe. I've never heard him use this type of rhetoric in regards to the whole NBA like this. So this is unprecedented, right?
That's definitely where I stand on it. Mark, what do you think?
Man, I think it's very telling. Another thing to point out is he criticized the Players Association, which is run by his good friend, Chris Paul. So a lot of layers to this one, man, a lot of layers. But I think it's ridiculous to have it as well. I mean, we're going, like he said, we're going to a city that's open. I don't think Atlanta ever closed. But you know what I mean? It's not really safe. And so that's a concern. You get your best players in one area to have an outbreak, and then they spread it to every team in the league. You could potentially ruin the whole season.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And not to mention, guys, I want to get your take on, we have rumors of the weekend festivities being crammed into one day. Right. So what are your thoughts on that, Black?
Well, I want to go back to the point you just made, Mark. Is this an indictment on Chris Paul? I mean, what would give Chris Paul reason to allow for this to happen when it wasn't previously agreed upon in coming back to this season?
Hey, I got a theory. Maybe Chris Paul is trying to, because the Players Association, right? All it's political, right? This is all political, right? This is the politics behind the players' involvement of the game. Maybe Chris Paul is trying to move into like maybe a commish lane, like as upon his retirement, right?
Right.
So he's scratching some backs, you know what I mean? Just to set up his position for the future, possibly.
Hey, League, before you play this vid, question to you guys. I mean, do we care if these guys play an all-star game or not? Like, I'm not even talking about just this year. I just mean in general. Do we care about all-star games outside of people getting the notoriety of being an all-star?
If the competition is going to be like it was last year, right? If the guys are actually going to compete against each other, I do like the idea of the best players in the world getting on the best of the best, I should say, getting on the court and duking it out to see who's really the best of the best and who's top tier, aside from all those, empty stats and all that. So I like the idea of it, but if it's not competitive, no, I don't think there's a necessary need for it.
And typically it's not, right?
Yeah. I'm more intrigued by the festivities, the dunk contest. And when it comes to the actual all-star game that happens Sunday, I kind of check out. I might tip in and see what's going on. So I think just acknowledging the players, would be enough, especially in a season like this. Hey, you're an all-star. These are the selected team, members. Right. And just keep it moving, on it. Definitely on a year like this.
Right. I do want to play. It looks like the topic of this week's show, so eloquently stated by Black, is the No Hesi Hoopcast. Gotta plug the show, right? It ain't easy being greedy, right? And what we're talking about is Adam Silver's obsession with milking the ratings in the league in the midst of this pandemic, even at the expense of players' safety, right? Now, this just came up. The league, LaMelo Ball is a hot topic. We already know that. Everywhere you put his name, you're gonna get clicks and views. All right, clicks, views, and comments. Right.
And Leak, before you finish that bloviation, I do want to mention, I'm getting word from fans of the show that they're definitely seeing that you favor LaMelo a lot.
I mean, yeah, I'm not hiding that either, Black. So yeah, there's no hiding that. Have you watched him play?
I have, yes.
Okay,
yes.
perfect. Yeah, I mean that's really all we gotta say. So I'm gonna play the clip of Woj, right? Bloviating to the ESPN hostess. I forgot her name. This is not Malika Andrews, but it's another beautiful young lady showing a lot of thigh, might I add, on a sports show, which that's beyond me. But yeah, let's see what Woj has got to say about this. Let's see Adam Silver's greed manifest through Woj. We'll see.
Having the slam dunk competition at halftime of that Sunday night, March 7th game.
Look, Woj looks like he's bloviating, right? You see his hand posture, his eyebrows, you know what I mean? Like,
Woj look like a liaison to the league, right?
He does, right?
Like he's speaking on behalf of the league.
Woj is the league's media attorney, basically, right?
Right.
In skills competition, and I'm told that one player the league would really like to get involved in that skills competition, the Rookie of the Year favorite right now, Charlotte's LaMelo Ball.
Oh, that actually makes sense. Leading all rookies in basically every category, points, assists, rebounds, you name it, he's leading. And he's been starting the last 6 games. It's been a fun watch for sure to see him.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube.
So enough. We don't want to plug them too much, but so Black. I'm sure a lot of the fans can see why I would favor LaMelo Ball, especially over the other rookies when he leads them in all statistical or major statistical categories, right?
All right, guys, I gotta jump in here. It's enough for one episode, but we do want to move on to another star point guard in the league. We want to talk about Luca Doncic and his struggles, man, or are they struggles, right? Because his numbers may sing a different tune, but the eye test, we're going to talk about that now. Leak, let's start with you, man. I know you're going to pull it up on the 1s and 2s for us, but if you can, share your thoughts on Luca, man.
Hey, Matt. Exceptional player, extremely talented, extremely crafty, a bit of a complainer, right? We'll see pretty much. We'll see him pretty much complain after every attack to the basket. But I think he's a great player. I think Luca. I felt like earlier on he was more focused on winning, right? I felt like he was bringing the Mavericks out of the dust. I think Luca kind of gets off now with kind of getting, kind of doing players in, or like having little highlights and things like that. I think Luca's relegated himself to that mentality rather than actually getting W's. Because when we look at the standings, despite of course we could look at Luca's production. The production is off the chain. I mean, Luca's averaging, let's see, I want to pull the screen up for the No Hesi cats. Luca's averaging, let's see, 29 a game, 29, 8.5 rebounds, and 9.5 assists. All right.
He's had like 5 40-point games within the last couple weeks as well.
Yeah, I do see in the game. Well, yeah, 2 40-point games in a row, a 40-point game before that. So 3 of his last 5 games were 40 points. All right. The numbers are off the chain. I can't lie. But when we look at the details and what those numbers amount to on the wins and loss column, right? That's where I'm starting to notice a huge issue with Luca's play, because the Mavericks are now in the 10th spot. They're out of the playoff hunt. The Warriors are in front of them. All right. The Warriors are in front of them. The Sacramento Kings are on their heels. Right. So this is an indictment not on Coach Jim Carrey. I mean, Rick Carlisle. This is an indictment on Luca Doncic. All right. He's the head of the snake. He's the one everybody's bloviating and praising about. He's the one everybody's donning, the next Larry Bird, the next great player. He's the one that's on all these triple-double lists. They're putting him in the mix next to LeBron James as far as historical standings. I put it on him. So, yeah, he's a great player, but the Magic might be wearing off because they're not getting wins, and they're in danger of missing the playoffs. Even look at all this. Look at this one-on-one. He's physically bloviating with the basketball. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. Black, you want to shoot off on this one?
Absolutely. Listen, if this was any other player, and we can go back and we can look at historically, any other player of his talent level playing at this high level, we would be destroying this man in the media because of the wins and loss columns. Now, I get it. You know, you could talk about personnel. You could talk about, Porzingis being out for a part of the season. You could bring up a lot of factors, but I feel like there's so many caveats for why the Mavericks aren't good, and nobody really speaks on or puts a spotlight on Luca as the leader of this team, not helping them get wins. I mean, all the numbers look great, but like you so eloquently laid out for us, it's not equating to dubs. So at some point, we're gonna have to start putting onus on Luca Doncic, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm just kind of tired of the praise that we give this man, all for him to not really do that much when it comes to winning games.
Right.
I mean,
right.
we land base Harden.
Real quick. Skip says 10 spot is in playing games to play. Listen, Luca Doncic is a world-renowned talent. He's an MVP candidate. He's not he damn near almost beat the Clippers, right, in the postseason last year.
Right.
Him competing for a play-in tournament is not good, right? That's a bad.
It's an indictment.
It's an indictment. And he's the leader of that team. So yeah, 10 spot is in the playoff, but who knows if they'll slip even more. They took an L last night to Damian Lillard in the Blazers, and we're gonna show that clip too of Dame burying. All right, but go ahead, Black. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I was just saying, Harden. Now, mind you, I get it as well. This is what, Luca's fourth season?
Think this is his third
season.
Yes.
So I understand why people would want to basically kind of like treat this with kid gloves. Right, but at the same time, again, like I say, any other player playing at this level in the league that's not getting wins is being destroyed by the media. And I just find it funny that Luca gets the pass, it seems, more often than not. Now, I want to pose to you guys.
Yeah.
Obviously, something needs to change. If you're the GM of this team, what moves are you making to assure that your team makes the playoffs this year?
Right. Mark, you want to touch on that?
Yeah, I definitely.
Wait, hold on. Before you get into that, Mark, Skip, you are right. They lost Seth Curry, but you can't tell me that just losing Seth Curry makes you this much worse than you were last season. I find that very hard to believe. But go ahead, Mark.
So I totally agree with you guys, but I gotta, be an advocate for Skip and for others who may be wanting to argue the other point, man. I mean, Luca, let's take Luca off the team and let's put in place with the same team a James Harden. Let's even put LeBron James. Are they that much better? You know what I mean? Because to me, you got Porzingis, who has just been he's just been a fragile being ever since he's been
right.
And then you got the Seth Curry thing, which I know he's not a huge piece, but I mean, who name me the number 2 on this team, on the team that he's on currently. You know, it's kind of he's doing his part.
Well, name me the number 2 on Portland. Name me the number 2 on Golden State. Name me the number 2 on some of these teams that are in the playoffs right now.
Good point.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a good point.
I'd even say his team is probably even better constructed around him than some of these other teams.
Right.
Yeah.
This team is not bad. That's my point. Is this team is not bad. I mean, he's got some solid role players. Obviously, Porzingis being hurt doesn't help, but at the same time, you know.
Side note, Porzingis has missed 11 games so far this season. He's only played 17 games. So I just wanted to throw that out there. That is a point right there. Letting go of Seth Curry, Porzingis not being healthy, I will agree that does, you know, kind of. But if that's the case, why is he playing like this, right? why is he doing all this? Why don't you just try to get the W, right? You know what I mean? That's my problem. You know, if that is the case, play a bit smarter, play a bit more reserved. You know what I mean? But that's what I think Luca's next step is, right? The putting away the antics, so to speak,
right?
And just trying to get the dub. You know, I think that's going to be the next step for him. But I agree, the roster is definitely chopped down compared to what it was. So yeah,
they're definitely going to have to move Porzingis, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think while he has value, because as it stands right now, it doesn't look like this experiment is working out as far as this 1-2 punch that they were hoping to create.
Now, hey, real quick, this is from the game last night, and that's a big statement, Black. That's a big statement. Moving Porzingis, who's supposed to be in the number 2, they're supposed to be the Euro guys, right? You know,
it's supposed to be Euro, LeBron, and AD, right?
Right. Well, let's take a look at this, right? This is from the game last night. This is the clutch work, right? So Luca with the bucket, Dallas is down, but they're on the move back. Obviously, this is not new to Dame, right? These situations. Watch Porzingis. Look how he doesn't even contest that at the basket, right? That's a problem. And then he gingerly jogs back. I don't like that.
There's a lack of defensive presence on this team that I feel like is a huge reason why they're not winning games.
I agree.
I'll say that. Hey, and we know for a fact Luca ain't playing no defense.
Absolutely.
All right.
And
take your old behind.
Well, I do put it on Luca again still. And as you guys could tell, I mean, look, at the beginning of this season of No Hesi, I was saying the Mavs were going to be top 3, if not top 2 best teams on the West, based on what I saw last year.
I thought so too. Here's your MVP candidate right here. Just real quick, just so because I thought they were going to be in the top spot or in the home court advantage at least. Here goes Luca, 6 seconds left.
Wide open.
Misses it and then jumps up and down as if as if he's in disbelief. So
my point real quick, Mark. My point was that the team takes on the identity of its leader, right?
I agree.
And so far, the Mavs' identity is real cute, right? Everything looks real cute, real sexy.
Right.
No defensive toughness.
Right.
No heart, and a lot of complaining when calls don't go your way.
Right.
And way too many threes.
Yeah, I have to agree with that, fellas. We're gonna have to leave it there because there's a lot we can go. We can go a lot deeper with it, but I definitely want to get to this next topic and spend some time there. We're talking about the illegal tech that's going on in the league. I mean, we're talking flop shots, traveling, push-offs. Why aren't they calling this stuff? I just want to let you guys just get loose on this one. Black, I'm gonna go ahead and start with you. I know Malik probably pulling up some things. So, what do you think, man? What's going on with this new NBA?
Well, I mean, this is the portion of No Hesi where we get into our think piece, right? Because this is something that is underlying. I think everybody realizes that it exists, but we just kind of put it by the wayside because it's entertaining still to some degree. But I mean, look at that. I mean, he literally crab leg with no dribble back behind the 3-point line. How do you defend that? How, as a defender, are you supposed to stop that from happening? Right?
Yeah.
So I think we're reaching a point now in the league where it's becoming a bit ridiculous, some of this stuff, because now we're bending the rules to the point where good defense doesn't even matter anymore.
Mm.
I mean, look at this. Let's watch this one more time.
The gall.
Disrespect.
And how is that a foul?
Right.
Like what was Rubio supposed to do in this situation that would Yeah, man. And he gets 3 free throws for that, man.
There
That's
was
ridiculous.
nothing he could do.
And it's not just that.
There was nothing that
Yes.
no, I'm just looking at the comments. Yeah, absolutely. That's another that we're gonna get to him as well. We are gonna get to him as well because absolutely, that's coming.
Leak, I wanna bring up something to you, man, and maybe you could bloviate on this. The flop shot. You and me have talked about this.
Right.
You and me have talked about this ad nauseum. The flop shot, man. Can you let the Hesi community know exactly what that is when we say flop shot?
Yeah. So the flop shot essentially is pretty much getting your guy in the air and basically faking a legit field goal attempt just in order to get the foul. You're pretty much giving up on the play in hopes that the ref calls the foul and you can get to the free throw line. And the thing is, we're not just going to bloviate about it in our own words. We're going to show examples, right? We're going to show, because who would we be? What type of man would I be, right? If I lived unfaithfully, right? And the words of the beautiful voice of the lead singer of Mid Condition. Look what Trae Young is doing. And this was the
and look at him too. He got away with something too, right?
He knows it. Look at him. He knows it. Despicable. Disrespectful.
Look at that. Look at the look on his face.
Right. Look at Steve Nash bloviating to the ref, about how
with no mask on too.
With
right?
no mask on. So here it goes right here. When you stop in front of the guy, look at that. That's one. Look at the defender. Look.
He stops short.
Look at the defender. He's putting his hands behind his back. Trae Young stops short. It's right in front of him.
It's like that episode of Seinfeld, right? He stopped short and he made his move.
He stopped short and made a move.
Right. He stopped short. Real talk. He stopped short and made a move. So, it's the plays like that are giving basically taking the enjoyable taste out of a lot of hoop purist fans, right? It's leaving a bad taste in our mouths, and we're trying to figure out how the league is going to do something about this because they have to.
Do they? Because the whole game, the way the game is constructed now is to basically beef up offense, right? So for example, with the flop shot, we've taken away the defender's ability to close out because they have to allow for a proper landing, right? Fair enough. We have seen players get injured, Kawhi being one of those.
Right.
But now we're seeing players basically kick the leg out, you know what I mean? And in hopes to land on another player's foot to draw fouls.
Absolutely.
So does the league, is the league going to recant that? Or are they going to just lean into this and allow for higher scoring basketball games?
I'll say that it is bad for the game, but Mark, I'm gonna let you kind of bloviate on it because as a hoop purist, I know you definitely have an opinion on this as well.
Yeah, I think the league is gonna let it go, Black, and it reminds me of like it's a new take on some of the moves like the Kobe flail, how he would flail and scream and to get the ref's attention. They're just taking those little things and taking them to the next level, but it's considered crafty though. You know what I mean? I think if they keep it there, that's their excuse to let it continue. Well, that's just crafty. It's savvy. but really it's illegal. I mean, they're taking it to the next level, and it makes the game less enjoyable when you see stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's frustrating. You know what I mean? It's frustrating to watch.
Well, it's like,
go ahead.
I don't when I'm watching these basketball games, my least favorite part of it is the free throw part. And it seems like, I mean, you look at some of these stat lines now, and teams are going to the line almost 30 times a game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I get it from, if I'm a scorer, obviously that's the easiest way for me to get my buckets. So I'm not mad at it. But what I am mad at is the fact that the refs haven't figured this out yet. What are they looking at? What game are they watching?
Yeah.
This doesn't fly in any other hoop leagues. So it's almost like they got a directive, right? It's almost like Adam Silver said, yo, let this rock because it's gonna make for higher scoring basketball games.
Yeah.
What do y'all think about that? We getting into some conspiracy theories in this piece.
I think you have a valid point. What you think, Lee?
I think this is hoop toxicity, right? I think that's what this is. I think this is toxic gameplay. All right. And shout out to Skip. He did say that he saw that his sources stated that possibly they were going to remove the whole pump fake a guy in the air and get him on his feet, and that whole thing, they were going to remove that from the look at this.
What is that?
Look at this. Yo,
he wrapped his arm up and shot it and got the foul call.
And the defender is always in disbelief because they don't know how to get out of this, right? Look at this.
Hey, James Harden's in disbelief.
Look at that.
He can't believe that he's getting away with this type of stuff. He's like, yo, James Harden's thought process is definitely like, yo, if they're gonna let me do it, then I'm gonna just keep doing it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep doing. I'm more surprised if they don't give it to me.
Look
at Dwayne Wade trying to. He's a superstar, man. Come on.
Look at this guy. Look
laid on him.
He shamu'd that man. Look at him.
Dog. And look at his face. Look at his face. Now the league also, they did implement a flopping fine, but I feel like the flopping fine is more so for like taking a charge or flailing once you get in the lane, like you've been we've seen LeBron do that before, right? Like that, basically, right? Like we see players will get fined for something like that. But why would James Harden did not get hit?
No,
and he threw the ball at Frank Mason's feet.
It's toxic. It's toxic, bro. Look at Pop. Believe it.
Is James Harden the worst? Is he the biggest criminal in the league?
Yeah. He has the most offenses for sure.
Absolutely. I mean,
Bron
definitely is a hoop felon as well, right?
Absolutely. But I'll say James is the one that gets away with it the most, right? Mm-hmm. And so he showed the other players what the possibilities are, right? He showed the other players how far this thing could actually go. Like some of this stuff is just ridiculous,
And it's like a lot of it is like I know the refs aren't watching, so if I end up on the ground in pain, then maybe I'll get the whistle.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Give up on the play. That's what I don't like about it. You literally give up on the play.
Yeah.
And you're no longer trying to get an honest bucket, right? You're no longer trying to execute a game plan, right? You give up on it and you decide you're going to flail your body and sacrifice yourself in hopes to get a call, right?
And possibly
on the refs.
Possibly hurt somebody else, right? Specifically with the flop shot. How many times we see somebody kick somebody's groin or kick somebody's leg or flail and smack somebody in the face? When your illegal hoop tech hurts more than just yourself, it's a problem. You know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely. And we've seen a lot of that. We've seen a lot of guys potentially injuring other players, right? Or other players getting into kind of sticky situations because the guy that they're honestly guarding wants to flop. You know what I mean? I don't like it at all, man.
Yeah, it's definitely got to change, and hopefully the league will, clamp down on it. And it starts, to me, it's starting at the AAU level, because the young guys are picking up on this tech, and we got to stop it at the root, man. So hopefully things.
You know what? Hey, I want to go back. I want to place a spotlight on CP, because not only has CP been a huge offender in the league with his illegal tech, right? Flopping and getting refs to call fouls that weren't there. But he's also the president of the NBA Players Association. So I wonder how much of this is he allowing, or basically talking to Adam Silver about, right?
That's good.
I think we need to put a closer look on Chris Paul.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's got a little too much power.
No Hesi is the only ones talking about this. That's what blows my mind, right? Where are all the talking heads at, right? It's like, just because this isn't like, this isn't a glamorous topic.
Right.
Nobody wants to touch on it, but no,
this isn't a sexy topic.
Yeah, but this is what we're here to do, right? This stuff is bad for the game, so we've got to go in on it. And I know this might divide hoop fans, but if you stand for good hoop and righteous playmaking, right? You know what I mean? Pure shot creation, right? Law-abiding, law-abiding gameplay, right? Not breaking the legitical code, not disrespecting the Leagueites who are the refs, you know what I mean? Of Levites, so to speak. You know what I mean? You've got to make a stand with us. It just is what it is, man.
Hey, look, you're either with no Hesi on this one or you're not. All right. And if you're not, you're okay with crime.
Right. There's no place for lawlessness in this game. Right? and the refs, they're dirty too, right? For letting this stuff go on, right?
And the refs are looking like hoop police,
right? Getting paid under the table, right? To allow the law breaking to happen. I can't stand it, bro. It's got to get cleaned up, all right?
They're like the hoop LAPD, right?
They're like, hey, they're getting the cut out of the narc bust, right? You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Man, something definitely needs to change. So we're gonna definitely be keeping our eyes on that, man, as we go forward. Now, fellas, it's time for one of my favorite parts of the show. We're gonna be talking about the pick'ems for the upcoming Week 9 NBA week. So if you guys are ready, let's go ahead and just get into it.
I think I got my sauce back, Lee.
Okay. All right. Let's get it.
We encourage the community, man. Put down your picks in the comment section. We love to see what you got. So rapid fire, fellas. We're going to start with today's slate of games. The Hawks versus the Knicks. Black, we'll start with you.
Hey, man, I'm all the way on the Knicks right now, man. And they got D Rose too. Skip, Knicks won? Question mark?
Absolutely. I'm actually I'm rolling with you, Black. I'm gonna go ahead and put the onus on Trae Young to play good basketball, right? So I'm going with the Knicks as well. I got the Knicks.
All right. Next game, the Bulls versus the Pacers. Leak, we'll start with you.
I got the Pacers.
I've fallen all the way off the Pacers. They've let me down the last couple weeks. So I'm going to go with the Bulls on this one. I know Laurie's out, but I'm going with the Bulls.
Okay.
All right. For Tuesday, we have the Pelicans versus the Grizzlies. Black, who you got?
And this is tough. This is a tough one. I'm going to go with the Pels, man.
I'm going with the Grizz. I think the Pels beat the Grizz last week, and I think the Grizz want their revenge. So,
gotcha. All right, we have the Blazers versus the Thunder. Leak, who you got?
I got the Blazers. I'm riding with Dame.
I'm going with the Thunder, man. Ooh. Good young team. Very, very good defensive young team, man.
Yeah. All right, so for Wednesday night, we have the Knicks versus the Magic. Black, who you got?
I'm going with Knicks all the way.
Hey, I'm riding with the Knicks too, man. Let's get it.
All right. Also that night we have the Sixers versus the Rockets. Leak, who you going with?
I got the Sixers.
I'm going with the Sixers as well. Reluctantly.
Thursday night we have the Heat versus the Kings. Black, who you got?
I'm taking the Heat.
I'm going with the Kings, man. I think De'Aaron Fox is looking like an all-star right now, and I'm ready to. I'm here for that. All right.
Will he be back? That's
He's
the
out,
question.
huh?
He is out.
Okay. Well, if you know what, he's a tough kid. I'm gonna still go with the Kings, and we'll let the chips fall where they may.
All right, and we have probably the best game of the season thus far, the most anticipated game thus far, the Lakers versus the Nets. Leak, who you got on this one, man?
You know what, man? Hey, I'm gonna. KD is out for the next 4 games, I think, right, with a hamstring or something like that. I believe.
No.
About that.
80.
No, I know KD is also out as well. He has a sore hamstring. KD 80's got the sore Achilles. With that being said, I've noticed when LeBron James has the first matchup against other powerhouse teams, usually he takes the L to them only to come back later when it's most important and to get the dub, right? So I'm going to say this is a filler game, right? A filler game for the chip or potential chip. I'm going to go ahead and go with the Nets according to Bron's narrative, all right?
I, too, am going to go with the Nets. I think we're reaching that period in the Lakers season where they're lightweight. It's looking a little dark for them right now. The last few games, they've been extremely lazy defensively, and Bron's literally the only one playing like he wants to win. So I think we're going to start seeing the Lakers take some L's. This one included.
Hey, real quick, Skip. That's a good point. We're gonna get that flop after we get through the tape. we will get that flop for you. All right, that famous CP3 and Boogie Cousins flop.
All right. So that's gonna be a good one though, fellas. So Friday's game we have the Suns versus the Pelicans. Black, we'll start with you.
I'm going with the Suns, man. Suns with D Book look nice.
Yeah.
I'm going with the Suns as well.
All right. Also that night, we have the Rockets versus the Mavs. Leak, we'll start with you.
I got the Mavericks. I think Luca's going to – every time we go in on a guy, right, his team, his family members, his boys, who watch No Hesi, always go back to these guys and tell them what we said and play them the clips. So I think Luca's going to play good basketball. He's not going to do all the showboating. He's going to move the ball. He's going to try to strap down a little on defense. I'm going to go with the Mavs per the No Hesi narrative. All right.
I'm going to take the Rockets, man. I'm selling the Mavs stock. Okay. No GameStop.
I like that. All right. So Saturday we have the Warriors versus the Hornets. Black, who you got?
I feel like the internet about to explode on this one, right?
Right. The light-skinned Super Bowl, right?
Little kids across the nation don't know what to do with themselves on this one, right? I'm taking the Hornets. Just off hate, really.
Who you got, Lee?
I'm riding with the Hornets too, man. I think Melo's gonna fulfill another LeVar prophecy, right? When LeVar said that his boy was better than Steph Curry, and there was nothing Steph Curry could do with his boy. He was not talking about Lonzo. That's who all of us thought. But the prophecy will be fulfilled Saturday when Melo faces Steph Curry. So I'm going with the Hornets.
Kind of like when they pick David, it's like, no, that boy there, he could be
right. They thought it was the other brothers. No, it was David, right?
All right.
All right. So also that night we had the Lakers versus the Heat, a rematch of the finals. You got there, Lee?
I got the Lakers. I think that's going to be easy work for Bron. He's got their number called.
I agree. I think Lakers got that one.
Got you. So Sunday we have the Clippers versus the Nets. Black, who you going with?
I'm taking the Nets. Hey, a matter of fact, I'm selling Clip stock as well. Kawhi is hurt. Kawhi is hurt. That same leg that he had issues with. So
okay,
yeah, Clips. Dark times.
Yeah. Who you got, Lee?
I also have the Nets. I also have the Nets on that one.
All right, and for our final pick'em game, we have the Kings versus the Bucks. Malik, who you got? Who you going with, Lee?
I'm sorry, Mark. It cut out a little bit. Who did you get first on that?
Oh, we got the Kings against the Bucks.
Okay. So I'm gonna go with the Bucks. I'm gonna go with the Bucks. The Kings ain't that damn good. All right.
Hey, you know what? Hey, you know what, man? I'm looking at the paper. I have the Bucks, but you know what? I'm gonna switch it, man. Something in my gut got me wanting to switch it, man. I'm gonna switch it to the Kings. Kings beating the Bucks. I'm switching it right now.
Okay. All right. So that's the pick'ems for week 9. They are set, and we will be interested to see who came out on top.
Hey, Mark, and I want to segue that last pick'em matchup. I want to segue that to give Skip what he was asking for and what is needed. All right, in these perilous, toxic hoop days. All right, let's go ahead and run this clip of Chris Paul and his famous flop on DeMarcus Cousins. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And Jason Thompson has it.
What? Bruh.
Yeah.
Bruh.
So
hey, we can really run the tape on CP, right?
Yeah.
That's the
CP,
thing.
You know what? He's got a hidden hand in a lot of these floptions, right?
Yeah.
A lot of this toxic CP might be the most toxic, right?
He might be.
He might be the most toxic.
He gets away with it. He gets away with it because he's so small, right? He's a miniature player, so like automatically it looks like this could be happening to him. When in reality, he's crying wolf, right? He's one of those guys.
Absolutely. CP is gonna have to answer for a lot of hoop sins once his career is over, right?
Once we look over CP's book, you know what I mean?
Right. Hey, CP's name might not be written in the book of hoop. All right. Hey, shout out to Skip for bringing that up. He's a top perpetrator for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fellas, well, this has been a great show, and as we want to, start doing here on No Hesi Hoopcast, we want to pay hoop homage to one of the greats, and who greater than a gentleman whose birthday is February 17th, and he goes by the name Air Jordan. So without further ado, Lee, take it away.
Let's see. So
this is the moment where all the young heads exit the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. You know what? Everybody can't deal with this type of greatness, so I completely get it. Hopefully they stay and learn something. The athleticism, the tenacity, the physicality, right? The focus, the ability to adapt mid-play situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, look, very minimal illegal tech as well, right?
Absolutely. Playing it the right way. You always have to answer for every dribble, right? You know what I mean?
Look at this.
Sheer grace.
Right. Sheer grace. He knows he's under grace, right? He understands that, and he doesn't take it for granted, right?
One of the dope things about Jordan too was the fact that like literally no one was doing this stuff.
Right.
When he did it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He truly innovated the game, whereas a lot of these guys that we want to throw in the category of GOAT,
right?
Are merely imitating what they've already seen done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, look, and that's no knock. All right, because they do it well.
Hey, he didn't have examples for this type of play, right? He didn't have examples. This was I mean, to carry along with the themes, he was clearly anointed, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Clearly had the oil on him, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
He had huge hands, great footwork, a great first step.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And let me ask y'all this, man. We always ask this question, right? If MJ was in the league today, do you guys still feel like he would dominate like he did back then?
Yeah.
I think so, D.
Yeah.
I think so.
I think
there ain't no answer for that, right?
I think he'd be able to get whatever shot that he wanted, even easier than back in the day due to the lack of physicality that guys, the lack of physicality. Guys are just, especially when you get past the first layer of defense, the bigs are going straight up, right? They're getting vertical, right? So MJ would be able to do a lot of crafty finishes around that, right? Around that verticality, or just jump right over you and dunk on top of you, right?
Right. And imagine MJ with the green light from 3, like a lot of these cats have too.
Yeah. Right.
Imagine
MJ getting hot from 3.
Right. Because it wasn't like MJ couldn't shoot it. He just, like, it was more efficient more efficient play at the time was to step in and get that mid-range popping off,
which he mastered. So imagine if the 3 ball was a real weapon, and everybody was utilizing that. I have no doubt in my mind he would have mastered that too. What the heck? Yeah, man. He's got all the 2K badges, right?
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. Look at that reverse.
That was crazy.
I think any body type Jordan could get it in this league. Like even skinny Jordan.
Right.
I agree.
I mean, he's too athletic.
Right. He's going in between all those gaps, right? Skinny MJ, he's flying through those gaps, right?
Yeah.
And skinny MJ would get all the calls.
Absolutely.
He would literally live at the line on some other stuff.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, man. Shout out to MJ. His B-Day's coming up. So this is a section that we're gonna continue to add on to the show, the hoop homage. Let's see, Skip. The Youngins will exit the chat, but hoop on the Hypebeast websites to cop new J's. That's backwards, man.
That's a fact, Skip. That's a fact. Guys literally don't know anything about who he is, though.
Right. Oh gosh, bro.
He would be prime Iguodala as
hoop Youngin spotted, right? Spotted. Shout out to bro.
Yeah, I saw.
It's good that he's here for this, though. It's good that he's here for this.
Yeah.
I also heard someone say he'd be Jamal Crawford.
Oh my gosh.
I saw someone say he'd be Jeremy Grant. Essentially, they said MJ would be a defensive body in this new era, right?
Well, all right. So let's get into it real quick, fellas, real quick, man. Because one knock that I do hear a lot. Okay. I wasn't alive for it.
Yeah.
Was the lack of perimeter defense in this era, as far as like essentially name a defensive lockdown in Jordan's era.
Dumars.
We could Dumars, Gary Payton. Let's see, we got
definitely not Byron Russell.
Right.
No.
Put Starks on the list.
Starks, yeah, I put Starks on there. Let's see if we can get some. Let's see if we can get a list. Defensive stoppers.
Because essentially the criticism is like basically Jordan going against substitute teachers, right? Like that's the knock, right?
That's wild, man. Substitute teachers, though. That's something right there, man.
I think with some of them early highlights, you could definitely see some mailmen and milkmen out there. He was so much better than them, though. It's not like it was even close, though. You know what I mean? So had they been a little bit more athletic, he still, I mean, he was head and shoulders above the competition in that era. And then
I guess like Dennis Rodman would probably be a lockdown in that era, right? Because he could guard. He could. I mean, Dennis Rodman could guard like what 4 through 1. Almost.
I would say in this era he definitely guard 1 through 5, right?
Yeah,
absolutely. Scottie Pippen is on his squad.
Yeah.
I would say you know what? I'm gonna say this. There were some defensive stoppers in that day. However, the physicality of the defense overall was just a lot more aggressive.
Right.
The refs allowed hand checking. Right. So even though there might have not have been quote unquote popularized or what would be the word? These glorified defensive stoppers. Everybody played physical defense. Everybody hacked, right?
Right.
Everybody was fouling when they played defense. When we played, it was okay to foul when people played defense, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, I'll say there might not have been one as good as like a Tony Allen, right, or like a Ron Artest, but the best ones were probably the bigs, probably from back in the day. But there were a lot of people that were very physical on me as well.
Well, I was gonna say to that point, we're also talking about a league where the highest efficient point was in the key. You know what I'm saying? So even if the wing defender wasn't a quote unquote lockdown, MJ's first move is going to be to get in that lane and create. And like you said, Leak, it was a big driven league at that time. So I mean, you got shot blockers waiting for you, every time you come in the lane. And if they're not blocking your shot, they probably knocking your block off. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So I think that is something to acknowledge for sure.
Absolutely. I see right here, Sidney Moncrief is a name I've heard of, never seen him play.
Yeah.
2-time Defensive Player of the Year. He was the first top tier defender that Jordan met. He was smart, fast, experienced defender, bigger than him. It shows right. He was actually the guy who put the clamps on Larry Bird in the NCAA tournament in '79. He was around Jordan's age too. It looks like Jordan dropped 28 on him in the regular season and upped it to 29 in the playoffs. That's Jordan. And he looks stressed right here too. I'll just say that.
Black, I've heard you say it off mic, man, that you've made mention of this. And so if you could go into this, that would be cool. But I think like Jordan was the first wing defender, so the league adjusted, and we really saw the defensive stopping wing really manifest from like 99 to 2010, that Kobe era.
Right.
You made the point that Kobe might have went against stiffer wing stoppers than Jordan.
Right. I think in Jordan's time, the two-way there was really no such thing as a two-way. Like MJ Lightweight invented the two-way essentially, right?
Hey, you with MJ's play, right? GMs decided that they had to relegate a wing player to defense only, right? Mm-hmm. You don't have to worry about shooting the ball. Your contract will be strictly based off of how well you do against these top wing players in the league. I definitely think that had to be predicated on what Jordan was doing to everybody and the guards who came after him.
MJ was essentially like like a hoop Superman, right? A Hooperman, if you will.
Right.
And eventually, that caused the league to, drum up its defense system to protect itself from the Hooperman. You know what I mean?
They had David Stern literally created villains, right?
Right. Hey, nobody had the kryptonite though. I'll tell you that. Well,
no, not at all.
Not on the court.
Right. Right. Not on the court.
Yeah, right.
Hey, look, I can look at MJ's eyes and tell you that there is kryptonite. All right.
That yak in this jar.
Hey, in the form of a liquid, in the form of a brownish liquid, right? That would be the kryptonite. But it's allegedly
some type of cognac.
some type of spirit. Hey, but look. How this turn from MJ celebration to a dude what up session? I can't. Come on. Hey, listen. We apologize if there's been any being. All right, and that's been inspired by Black, obviously, right? But I'm
gonna turn everything right back to Kobe. You know what I mean?
Right. Hey, shout out to Kobe as well. But today, we are paying hoop homage to MJ, my GOAT. All right.
How old is MJ gonna be?
Yeah, but
MJ was born in 63. So what is
that's a good question.
Quick maths.
Let's see.
Might be pushing 60, maybe 57.
That is 57. Yep, 57 years old. He'll be turning 57. Well, actually, his birthday's on the 17th, so he'll be turning 58. Actually.
Oh wow, man. Yeah, man. Happy birthday,
man. Shout out to MJ, man. Shout out to MJ.
Before we go, man, we gotta wish happy birthday to belated birthday to Black Moses, man. You know what I mean?
Shout out to Black. Happy B-Day to Black. Hey, it's his birthday.
Thank you, man.
Another year, more wisdom to you, Black. Many blessings to you, man. It's been a play. Like y'all two been around your whole life, all right. But I've been around maybe the last 15 to 20 years, man. I gotta say it's been a privilege to be rocking and locked in with you, bro.
Man, I appreciate both of y'all, man. Y'all kind of been my quasi mentors, so to speak. You know what I mean? So you guys kind of watch me grow up and learn from my mistakes and what have you. So I appreciate y'all too, man, for sure.
Man, no doubt, man. Many more, for sure. Many more. Well, that's today's episode. We hope you enjoyed it. Please do us a favor. If you did, share this with somebody. Share this with 5 people, right? And subscribe to the YouTube channel, and also click the bell notification so you're here every Monday when we go live.
Happy Black Day. That's what we're gonna call it moving forward. Like, right.
Yeah, man. So for No Hesi, this has been Marcus, your moderator, and fellas, any final words?
Hey, it's been another great show in the books. Moved through it very effortlessly. Shout out to the chat. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you'll be tapped in as soon as we go live again every Monday. Last week there was a hiccup, but obviously that was an aberration. So we'll see y'all again back next Monday like that. We're going to have some more guests on the show too. So hit us up on social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, you know what I'm saying? Hit Black up, hit me up, hit Mark up. And put your bid in if you want to be on the show and blow V8. Holla.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, echoing that. We definitely want to have more guests on the show. This is a platform for the people, by the people, all that good stuff. So please, man, if you would like to be on the show, hit me up. Black X Moses on Twitter, or Cornell West _side on IG. Hit me up in the DM. We'll do our best to get you on the show.
Yes, sir. So till next time, we out.
Peace.